Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about the 10 reasons I need to keep my big mouth shut. Let's get started. You guys know that I love to be real on this channel and talk to you guys about some of my struggles that I have. And you guys are getting to know me more and more, that I have some great qualities, but I also have some personality flaws that I need to work on, which one of them is I'm too talkative, just to be frank with you. So one of the first things that I struggle with, or one of the first negative side effects of talking too much is, especially when somebody, which is number one, when someone is for sure making a short story long, or even talking for a longer period of time, I sometimes grow impatient and interrupt, which is not polite. I should be a much better listener and let them and allow them to finish. So sometimes I interrupt, whatever you wish to call it. And sometimes people have gotten frustrated with me because I don't allow them to finish their train of thought and what they're saying. It is something I'm working on, but it is a personality flaw of mine, which brings me to number two. Because of that, I don't remember everything they've told me, because a lot of times when people are talking, I'm thinking about how I can respond. I'm just being honest with you. And it is especially grueling for me since I don't have a long attention span, and my mind, you guys probably know this, I'm a very restless person. The good thing about having me around is I have a lot of energy and I can get a lot done really fast. But the downside is sometimes I'm a little too much for people, and my hyperness can be like, whoa, down. I even have a friend of mine that says, down, Dawn, because I get just so excitable and I want to interject all the time. But sometimes I don't remember everything being said because I'm not listening. I am getting better, but I'm still a work in progress. Number three, I speak before thinking many times. And a lot of times I've put myself in embarrassing and inappropriate situations. I know a long time ago I told you guys, and this happened years ago, I've never done it since. But I remember once I asked a woman, I said, oh, when are you expecting your baby? And she said she wasn't pregnant. That was really inappropriate. And I've said other goofy things or silly things that, it just wasn't the right time or place to say something. I've gotten much better and I have a much better filter. But sometimes I speak before thinking, or I engage in things that I have no business engaging in, and that will end up causing me issues later down the road. Number four, and I haven't done this in a while or too often, but I get caught up in drama or something between two people, and that cannot always be a positive thing. I'm a lot better about that, but that's been in the past. Number five, and this is a biggie, sometimes because I talk so much, I might end up sharing too much, and then I worry or regret what I said, and I'm like, gosh, I wish I could take those words back. Because just remember, once those words are out there, and you can't take them back. So sometimes because of my impulsivity and just going blah, 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 the words are out there. And if I would just sit back and think and not be so ready to respond and react to things, I would be much better off. Number six, and this is a big one, lose productivity. Because I love to talk, and I do have quite an extensive social circle, I can end up getting several phone calls. It's not anything against people that call me. There's so many lovely people in my life, so it's nothing against them. But I can just talk and I'll be like, oh, let's talk for 5 minutes. An hour later, because we'll end up talking about so many subjects. And so I can lose productivity because I spend so much time talking. Number seven, and this is my number one biggest reason, and I've spoken to you guys about it before. Many people I know keep a lot to themselves because they're smart. And the reason why is they don't want judgment from others. But one of mine is oversharing. Basically, it comes back to bite me. So let's say, I'm going to give an example. Let's say I decide to share, hey, I'm going on this eating plan. Or, oh, I've decided to do this with my money. If I don't follow through with those decisions, many times the folks that I've told that to will bring it back up in my face. Well, I thought you were going on this eating plan. That lasted a day. What are you gonna do next? Or I knew that wouldn't work. Or you tell someone you're thinking of making money this way. Well, I could have told you that wasn't gonna work out. So when we share our dreams and aspirations, or we share financial decisions we make, and then we decide to not do those and follow through, it can come back to bite you, and it causes more people to judge you, what your values are, and also pepper you with questions when we share so much. So the biggest issue that I have is oversharing. I'm getting better, but I still have a long way to go. And that also is a boundary issue. I did a video on that recently, which I'll link at the end of this. It's called I'm Really Struggling Right Now, and many of you guys could relate to it. So oversharing, that's number 7. Number 8, which brings to the oversharing, because I overshare, and when people don't agree with my life choices, and because I tend to be a people pleaser, I basically end up over-explaining and defending myself. I have not been doing that very much at all. I've been a lot better about that. I just, even if it's wrong, I let people think what they're going to think, because I'm just too tired, worn out to try to explain myself to anyone at this point. So I've gotten much better on all of these, but I still need to I still need to work on some of these issues. Number 9, I attract people in my life, and this could be a trust issue, that may not be good for me. Sometimes I'm too trusting, and I get too chummy with people right away. And then I find out that some of these folks may have some areas in their life they need work, and I need to be much more cautious of who I let in my inner circle, because I just love everybody, and I tend to see the good in people. One of my friends said, Dawn, if you saw a serial killer, you'd probably say, oh, but they seem so nice. And that is the kind of person I am, because I just love people, and I want to see the good in everybody. Well, then I end up being too trusting, and I end up basically hurting myself in the long run. Last but not least, because of me talking so much, I can get tired out and worn out, because it takes a lot of energy to basically, because of all these issues that come up, being a people pleaser, basically oversharing, defending and explaining all my values and actions. And I wouldn't have to do all of that if I spent much more time lending a listening ear and keeping more to myself. One of the other issues I didn't mention is this. Because people already see me as this person that shares all the time, when you're no longer sharing, they notice it and they think there's something wrong, and they think, that you're not going to change, so they still see you as that person. And when you're going to be 56 years young, it can be challenging to change the way you've done things and that you feel like you've programmed yourself to do all your life. So here are some of the areas, the reasons why talking too much is called me issues. Yes, there's some great things about it, and I'll admit I've had a lot of fun with it. But here are these issues that I'm working on right now to become a better listener and to basically share less of my private life with folks. So that is all for now. Let me know if any of you struggle with this, and if so, if you have some comments about that, I'd love to hear from you. Before signing off, at the end of this video, you'll see another video that I'm putting on what I'm really struggling about. It kind of relates to this video a little bit. You may find that interesting. And also, please consider subscribing. And if interested in getting to know me on a deeper level, please consider supporting me on Patreon. That's all for now. This is Money Mom signing off. And as always, I love you. Bye-bye.